introduce myself today. Carla, did you say 20 minutes? No problem. It's just 5 minutes, and she's really been serious about that, so I'm going to have to speed through a lot of things I'd love to say. For those of you who have pen and paper, take it out and write down johnbuckley.org. I have to learn to say that all the time in media interviews to get that website out there, but you can write it down too. As mentioned, I'm the Libertarian Party candidate for the United States Senate in West Bygod, Virginia, which I think is one of the most beautiful states in the nation. I've been in politics for 40 years or so. I began in active politics as a freshman in high school, and I've done a lot of things, and it's very exciting to be the Libertarian candidate. The energy this year, in polls in my state have not included me, so I don't know where I stand in the polls in my race. But when I read about other Libertarian candidates around the country this year, and showing up in the polls in notable percentages, and the excitement and the verve and the vibrations, I really get the feeling this year is going to be a pretty darn exciting year for Libertarian Party, Libertarian candidates, and Libertarian principles. And it's exciting to be a part of this. Any candidates in the audience, just raise your hands. It's bravo for being a candidate. It's fantastic. And what about campaign managers and treasurers and people holding just specific duties in a campaign? Raise your hand. And how many people have given a donation to a Libertarian candidate for office this year? Excellent. Now, write down johnbuckley.org all the time, please. It's tough raising money when, and I forget his name, the gentleman who's running for state rep in Ohio talked about his $250,000 campaign. He was hoping to eventually make a $500,000 campaign. I was just drooling because any fraction of that would be wonderful. So yes, write down johnbuckley.org. That would be terrific. It would help your local candidates. Over my career, I've been the national chairman of Young Americans for Freedom, a conservative student organization. I was elected to the House of Delegates in Virginia as a Republican in 1979. I served as I was an elector for Ronald Reagan in 1980, and over my career I've worked for libertarian small L organizations like the Cato Institute, Institute for Humane Studies, National Tax Limitation Committee, Law and Economics Center at George Mason University. I just retired after 12 years as an attorney at the United States Court of Federal Claims in Washington, D.C. And I switched to the Libertarian Party in 1991, thanks to Bill Redpath, Mark Montoni, Jim Lark, Virginia Libertarians, who made it a very hospitable home. I didn't leave the Republican Party left me, as far as I'm concerned. I think my principles have stayed the same the entire time, but the home for those principles is the Libertarian Party. And I'm glad to be a part of it and be a candidate. It's tough to be a candidate in the Libertarian Party. We're underfunded. We don't have the resources, the precinct organization, all of we have great talent, but we don't have as much of it in numbers. And so it's tough, and as a candidate you go through a lot of ups and downs, and I faced that in my own campaign just in the few months that I've been running. It's tough because you're the chief cook and bottle washer, you're trying to raise money, you're trying to write literature, you're trying to go out and campaign, you're trying to organize, you're trying to plan ahead, and you go through, at least I have, I don't know about the other candidates, but bouts of frustration and valleys of despair, and then the next day a donation comes in the mail, or a volunteer pops up on the website, and you reach an energy high. And I've had to realize for myself that those valleys of despair and those mountains of high energy are the terrain of West Virginia. So I've got to get used to it. I bought a new car in February, and I put 9,000 miles on my car, and we're only to the end of June. And it's going to be, it's a great state with a lot of mileage, and some of the roads are tiny and winding, and I love it. And there's a great receptiveness to our message, as there would be in any state, and there is in West Virginia. West Virginians don't like Barack Obama, and I chat to people and they nod their head absolutely, and I say that at the same time I'm not a big business Republican either. And then so they grab the literature and they start looking through it. And I think there's a lot of in between there for libertarians this year to get our message out in different ways. Because our message is, we take the best, I like to describe it as we take the best of the red: economic liberties, private property, cutting spending, cutting taxes, deregulation, and we match it, we take the best of the blue, of the emphasis on peace and civil liberties and privacy, and we marry them together. And that's our consistent platform of individual liberty. We are the purple, taking the best of the red and the blue. The Libertarian Party is the purple, and that's the message that I think a lot of the American people would respond to if we have the resources to get our message out. And this is the year for it. We've seen some extraordinary things across the political spectrum in primaries and elections so far this year, and we're poised to be a part of that. Both of my major party candidates are women. One's the Secretary of State, the Democrat. The other's a seven-term Congresswoman. It's an open seat. Jay Rockefeller stepping down. I say to people, if a Rockefeller can get elected in West Virginia, so can a Buckley. We'll see how that works. But the media's all gaga because they say this year West Virginia's definitely going to set a record. For the first time ever, West Virginia's going to elect a woman. I say, whoa, wait. So I told them, okay, we're going to set a record, either a woman or the gay guy. So let the media write that up. We're going to set a record in West Virginia this year. My slogan is live and let live. I'm a full-time candidate, and I'm going to shoot for the moon. I realize everyone says they're going to win. I don't know whether I'm going to win, but I'm going to run trying to win. And in running trying to win, I know we're going to accomplish things for the Libertarian Party and for our principles in the state. I don't know how high we will get, but we're going to go for broke. I hope not. Let me finish with one of the things I'm doing to try to keep the campaign on the light side. It's just a little bit of fun and helps me poke a little fun at my opponents. I started a couple of months ago on my campaign Facebook page, that would be John Buckley WV, a song of the day, where I take a YouTube video and link to a song, and whether by the song title or the lyrics, I try to make a comment about the campaign or a dig at my opponents. So for instance, every Friday, I make a dig at my Republican opponent. She's the front runner. Everybody thinks she's going to win. She has the big bucks. She's a moderate, nothing, stay in the middle of the road, don't stick your neck out ever on anything kind of a Republican. So every Friday is my dig at her. Yesterday, the song of the day, well, the message was Capito. Her name is Shelley Capito. Capito to her big biz backers. The song of the day was Britney Spears, I'm a Slave for You. A couple of weeks before, it was Capito to her big business backers, and the song was Lean on Me. That's every Friday, so keep an eye out for that. A song earlier this week, I said, I wrote, my opponents are all talk when it comes to cutting spending. The song of the day from the Rocky Horror Picture Show, science fiction double feature. Just lighthearted, and I'll leave you with this. Will West Virginia elect a woman? This is my message song of the day earlier this week or last. Will West Virginia elect a woman? Maybe yes, maybe no. The song of the day by Denise Williams was, Let's Hear It for the Boy. Thank you very much.